This region is one of the oldest in prehistory. It was from here that part of the story of man's destiny commenced to emerge through the bales of pine. Oman, with 1,500 kilometers of coastline and high mountains to provide water for its plains, will have seen many of our early ancestors, for those people had no need to settle and grow food, because nature had provided for all their needs, and it was traditional to migrate to new pastures when a region became infertile. The advancement of culture and learning altered when Persian invaders arrived from the north and ruled the country for thousands of years, until the first Imam, leader of the Adahi sect, gathered together sufficient warriors to free his country. In 1507, the Portuguese arrived and fortified the coastline around the Straits of Hormuz. Nasser bin Murshid, who built the old capital city of Rostaq in the early 17th century, continually harassed them, until they were finally driven from the country in 1650. The year 1798 saw the start of a long association between Oman and Britain, when a treaty was signed with the East India Company. The traditional way of life, built up over thousands of years, is very much in evidence. Indeed, it is encouraged, so that men will preserve the old traditions of religion and culture. But there is a new driving force apparent throughout the country, generated by His Highness Sultan Qaboos bin Said bin Taimur, who succeeded his father in 1970, and his determination is to create a modern 20th century state. The General Development Corporation is raising food production areas from 100,000 to 250,000 acres, and this will enable exports to be sent to a world already under the shadow of a growing food shortage. With increased livestock production and the establishment of a special fisheries depot at Sohar to receive the abundant catches from the sea, the 600,000 people of Oman have seen more development in the last few years than in any previous time of their history. Under the rule of Said the Great, Oman extended her possessions to include Zanzibar, parts of the East African littoral, and southern Persia. After his death in 1856, and as a result of the earlier division made between the Imam's religious and the Sultan's temporal authority, there were frequent struggles between the Imam and Sultan. These were finally resolved in 1959, when the forces of Sultan Said bin Taimur defeated those of the Imam. In the modern capital of Muscat, The motor vehicle was a rare sight not so many years ago, and the citizens walking the streets at night were obliged to carry hurricane lamps. Today, Muscat abounds with vehicles of every type and people of many nationalities, while the shops offer goods from the traditional through to the most advanced designs of modern technology. The airport at Sib will handle the largest jet operational today, while the new harbour at Matra will handle 1.5 million tons of cargo annually, with storage complexes covering 42 acres. Oil is one of the rich heritages of Oman and has been steadily developed by Petrol Development Oman during the last decade. The 1973 revenue is expected to double in the coming year and will provide further assets for the country's development programs. An intensive building program has created many new schools, where physical training is now regarded as important, together with the teaching of religion, Arabic, English, mathematics, science, and many other subjects. There are great opportunities for young people to proceed to advanced studies in Muscat or to overseas universities. The people of the interior receive the benefit of free modern medicine, and army patrols take out their doctors on regular visits to ensure that those living in remote parts receive good attention. The hospital at Nizwa is a symbol of the intensive program started by the Sultan to ensure that his people will receive aid in their hour of need. There is still much to do, but rapid progress is certain under a Sultan, his ministers and advisors, who are concerned to ensure that the people of Oman shall march forward into a new and better life while retaining the spirit and courage of their ancestors.
The producers of this film wish to thank the ambassador of the London Embassy of the Sultanate of Oman for providing facilities for the reproduction of the traditional music of his country.